How do you do, folks? Raymond the Amish Comic here. The lovely Mrs. Comic is right over there on the sofa hanging with you in the chat. And Caesar is now taken to doing cameo appearances at the top of the live stream. So we will begin. I guess the new tradition is Caesar will be getting a licking stick. See that? Right there. All right. So apparently the cat needs a reward. I got a snuffly nose here. The cat needs a reward for the live stream. How you doing, folks? While I'm giving Caesar the celebration licking stick, okay, take it down on the floor there. That works too. Where do you get fine entertainment like this? That's what I would want to ask is how do you get entertainment like this? Okay, first and foremost, I'm really sorry about last week. I did a terrible thing that I hate doing, and I still do it even though I hate doing it, and I do it more than I should do it, and I want to try to never do it, and that is ask for money. I beg shamelessly for donations. It never works out. It always backfires. I actually get less money when I actually ask for donations. So I put the curse on myself. So I'm going to try never to do that again. I want the donations, but I'm not, fuck me in a bucket of goo. I'm not going to ask for them. That's bad luck right there. And then the other dumb thing I did was I turned off the super chat, which apparently is your most funnest way to make donations. So I asked for them, which I shouldn't have, and I turned off the fun way for you to donate, and it just fucked me up the ass in a bucket of goo. Shout out to Kevin Keller, who came in with the couple days after the live stream donation. Very much appreciated. I believe you bumped up your Patreon, so wahoo for that. So here we go. I shouldn't have really planned to stream tonight because around 6 o'clock I got really fucking tired. For no apparent reason, it's garbage night and I got the garbage out and I am completely unprepared, which normally I'm okay with, but now I'm a little panicky because I'm unprepared. And I was yipping around. I have these notebooks all over the house, so I filled up a notebook. I was looking for a new notebook, and I actually am out of notebooks. So that hasn't happened since pre-pandemic. And oddly enough, since I didn't make any extra money last weekend, which I'm not going to ask for, I didn't really have money to get new notebooks. So when notebook money comes, I will get some new notebooks. I have a project notebook that I can't write anything in except stories from my Amish ghost story book. So there's that. And this one is kind of almost a new book. So there we have it. This show is off to a slam banging start. Now check this shit out. Okay, so I turned on a super chat again this week. I think it's on, and do with it what you will. There's also super stickers, which I know nothing about. Super chat and super stickers are turned on. I'm assuming that the more money you donate, the more awesome the sticker is. I don't really understand how this works. And if I had extra money, I'd have Mrs. Comic do some super chats so we can figure out what the hell the difference is or not. So if that's a fun way to donate, fuck me in a bucket of goo, and super chat your bourbon balls off. So that was my mistake right there. Caesar's going to be flying all around here somewhere. He likes this corner, especially when we're streaming. So this is water, so there'd be no need for a toast. And like I said, normally I would have a notebook to look in, which I do. So we're just going to start babbling here. Mrs. Comic, always helping me out when I don't know what to talk about. She said that normally we're reading books and we could suggest books to read that we're reading, but actually we're not reading any books now. So thank her for the great idea, but also whatever books you were reading, just continue forth reading those books until we read some books and we say, hey, stop reading those books and then read these books, or don't read books as you see fit. But we have been watching a couple of TV shows. Now there's excitement going on here. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but it's fun, but it's also somewhat frightening. Right there, Mountain Cat. We have been watching, much to our enjoyment, uh, Peacemaker season 2 is out. It's really ridiculous. It's kind of cool. It's like a superhero, but they're also like fuck ups, and they curse in them, which I absolutely love. And they seem like they're not really that excited about being superheroes, but fuck it, if it keeps them out of jail, they'll be a superhero. So that's a lot of fun. There it is, Richter coming in with the super chat. See, that's big. That's big. It's big and fucking yellow, and there's purple. So now we know what the $10 thing is there. Richter, well done. I look forward to spending uh, that $10 minus 30% for YouTube in the fall when they finally fucking pay it off. But actually, that's a nice thing to have that loot roll up right there. So appreciate that very much. Um, so we're watching. Check out Peacemaker. That's a lot of fun, but they do curse and they are fuck ups. They don't want to help anyone. We've also been watching a science fiction show called Invasion. That's been intense. We actually hate being subjected to that's it until the next thing comes out next week. So we have to watch TV like normal people. Normally, we like to power through like 3 seasons of something in a sitting. So that's some fun stuff there. Um, we got and also we have been. I'm actually pre-screening it for Mrs. Comic, and then I tell her all the scary parts are so she can run out the room or hide accordingly. Much to my surprise, the newest season of Dexter is really, really enjoyable. The When it was running, whatever season it was, and it was the final season, man, he fucked that up. It was just terribly written, poor shit. And then they had a post Dexter season where, spoilers, he was like a lumberjack. He disappeared into the ocean at the end of the one. Then he wound up being a lumberjack, and that season was kind of really stupid. But I gave this third one a try, and the third one is actually quite a lot of fun. Spoilers: it's set in New York. We love New York, so it's fun to watch them run around in New York and doing shit. They also have a all-star lineup of celebrity guests. Some serial killers and some mostly serial killers. Celebrity guests, serial killers, and I wish I knew the actor name, but Tyrion from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, thank you, Mrs. Comic. He's in the new season of Dexter. He's fucking amazing, and Uma Thurman is his right hand gal, fix it person. She's fantastic. Neil Patrick Harris was in. He's a guest star as a serial killer. Spoilers there. And the Peckerhead, who's in Murder. Is he in Murderbot? Is that guy? Yeah, yeah. Someone who's in Murderbot, who's also a crazy person at the casino in Twin Peaks season 3, is in as a guest serial killer. So we're enjoying that very much right now. So that's what we've been watching. Don't watch it because we're watching it. Because I actually watch it before Mrs. Comic watches it to see if it's safe for her to watch it. And I'll say it's safe even if it isn't, because I want her to see it and get caught up. The other thing is, I talked about this before. It's kind of fun, but it's also a curse. I can't watch any movie or TV show and then see somebody and go, oh, that person, we know that person, that person's been in stuff. Of course they've fucking been in stuff. It's hardly ever, it's like their first thing. They've all been in fucking stuff. But if I don't figure out who that person is, not so much the actor's name, but what role I've seen them in before, I lose my fucking mind. So then I go in Internet Movie Database, and they've always been in a lot of things, and it's all shit we didn't watch before. But then we pin it down. We pin it down to whatever show that we know them from. So that drives me over the cuckoo's nest. And then the characters, if they're playing them, they're completely different than how I know them. That fucks me up a kind of a teeny tiny little bit, but not too much. So if you have that problem, you're not alone. And Mrs. Comic, I love her with all my heart, but she'll say, doesn't that person look familiar? Knowing that I will be the one to OCD IMDb it, so that I'll come up with the answers. And a lot of times I'm wrong, but it was somebody. So there's that going on. We're loving that stuff. We're enjoying that stuff right there. I do like the peacemaker. I like the idea that they can curse in these superhero shows, and they really don't want to do it. If somebody needs help, like, oh fuck it, can't Spider-Man go? So we have that going on right now. Clicking through a few notes here. All right. Oh, I know what we do. We can't have a show without going over what's been going on with cats. Now, as you know, Caesar is taking over this house. Caesar has good sense. We have a bear cat camera out back. We have a whatever critter camera out front, so it gets annoying salespeople and all that shit. Well, Caesar can sense that something's out there and runs from window to window before even the camera picks it up. So now we got some exciting, fun stuff here. Let's see, where is it? All right. This is the back Bearcat cam. That is not Bearcat. That is a new black cat that I've said is Caesar's friend, but Caesar just growled at us, so it's not really. And a skunk right there, and I don't know if that's our regular skunk, because our regular skunk has more of a white tail, I think. So now apparently there's a skunk population. You can see the skunk is going over to tell the cat to get the fuck out of here, that the skunk usually gets Bearcat's leftovers, and the black cat is surprisingly stupidly not running off. Now the skunk tail's up. Nobody got blasted. And the skunk believes it successfully scared off not Bearcat, but the other new black cat. But wait for it, the drama of live television right here, and there comes the black cat slithering back in, saying like, fuck you, skunk, I get Bearcat's leftovers. So now this is not really that exciting, but it's fun for us. And then Bearcat appears. There you go. That's definitely, some ass has left her cat out. That seems like a cat that lives someplace. I don't know. So once again, when Bearcat's out back there, and Caesar sees Bearcat, it goes fucking nuts. It makes all kind of bangs on the windows and shit. And that's my cue to take food out for Bearcat before the skunk gets it. I knew I had to burp, and I tried to announce it first, but it didn't work out that way, so I just burped. Well, you know I burped, but I usually warn you that I'm going to burp, but I didn't get to warn you there. So now let's move along to some other cats. I teased, I did this on stage one night, that my phone dinged, and it was from our daughter. I said, oh my God, I got to take this. I'm so excited. And I looked at the phone, I go, this is amazing. I'm a grandfather. And then it gets applause because they think I'm just going to announce that our daughter birthed a grandson for us. But I show them a picture like this and say, that's Hank. That's my grandson right there. That's our grandson. And then Hank gets applause. Mrs. Comic, when we go watch the cats, Mrs. Comic usually gets to have a fun time with Hank. He's absolutely incredible cat. And then I go visit Rico. So now here's Rico over in the crazy room. And we're trying to get Rico a little bit of running. And there you go. Little fly asleep. There's Rico. Now you're updating cats, except for this big guy here. Every so often, it won't be a thing outside. They'll be like, oh, I like the lighting low for nighttime TV watching and whatnot. It's just a little scary. A moth, a bee, a fly will get in here. We always hope it's a moth, but you can tell Caesar goes fucking nuts. He's like chasing shit that nobody can see. And then we gotta wonder if it might not be like spirits, like Sparky or Cocktail flying around here, tormenting Caesar. That's also a possibility. So the Caesar had a battle with a really big fly, and there you see, and he could have killed it 100 times, but he didn't. I think he actually was hoping to get some playtime with this big fucking fly. And then you see in the video, I came over to check it out. He looked at me like, well, you kill it. I don't want to kill it. I want to play with it. So, and that doesn't seem like much, but that can happen in a day, and it could just affect the whole rest of the day and into the night. So now we have that. And I probably showed you this before, but also Caesar, we've been lucky. If you have cats and dogs and you give them your food, you're kind of fucked. Caesar really doesn't like people food at all, but he wants to know that he doesn't like people food at all. So that's Caesar being offered some of my popsicle. He decided he didn't want it. So, but if we don't offer it, like, you know, it's like, hey, why can't I have it? Then he's really gonna want it. So there's that going on. That's your update for cats going on right now. What? Oh, he's in this blanket right now. I gotta move the notebooks over here. He's such a little kid. He likes forts. He likes blankets, and then you gotta kind of guess where the ass is and where the head is, because if he's awake and in there having fun, you actually want the ass end, because the head end is gonna be looking for some adventure. So we got that going on. Where else could you find live entertainment like this, where the man's cat comes out, have a licking stick, and then goes and hides in the tent right there in the tunnel tent? That's kind of incredible stuff there. Oh, this goes back to also me not asking for money, but really asking for money. Our Subaru has been running like shit for a few weeks, and it took a little while to get our appointment in there. So the Subaru got a tune-up, spark plugs, wires, all that shit. $375 on the credit card now. I don't want you to give me that money, wink, wink, because if I ask for it, that makes me a dick. But if somehow there's $375 worth of super chat donations tonight, it just things would equal out. That's all I'm saying here. So you could take that with a grain of salt. When your car doesn't run smooth, it's just fucking. It's just a thing that makes you go. So we're happy it's running, and we wish we wouldn't have to put it on a credit card. But what are you gonna do? Random notes, and I've been trying to write comedy. My bra strap is going. It's not really my bra strap. I've been trying to write comedy about this for a while now. Dreams are the craziest fucking thing. In fact, Mrs. Comic, I say Mrs. Comic, we actually like to watch these alien abduction shows, and they mostly suck, but Mrs. Comic found a good one. Maybe they pay people to say the shit, but these people really are talking like this shit really happened to them. So what I don't know if it happened or not was if they dreamed anything. Well, if you have a vivid dream and you're really sure the thing happened, you wake up, that thing happened. That thing fucking happened, and it shakes you up. And if it was alien abduction, in the alien abduction, one of the guys swore that they cut his skull open and they pet his brain. So now we know what levels of insanity you could expect from me. He didn't have any marks, because they closed him up good. They did a hell of a job of closing his brain back up after they were done petting it. And it seemed to me like there should be some marks, like a line around his head, or even he himself should have taken a Sharpie to drive around there to make it seem like that's actually what happened. But some of these peckerheads are really convincing. They mostly wind up living out in the middle of nowhere and they complain about that. Well, I was abducted, and they cut my skull open, and they pet my brain, and then I told everyone, and then everybody said I had to leave town and live up here in the woods. And that's what they do. So they mostly get abducted and if they tell anyone, they live in the woods. But now the one that we saw right now is very interesting. Uh, they claim Dwight D. Eisenhower signed some sort of peace treaty agreement with aliens, and some of that deal where they wouldn't just murder us all was they could have a few of us to experiment on and make kind of like hybrid alien human beings. I almost suspect myself of being a hybrid human alien, except I don't think it would be someone as lazy as me. I think it would be someone that would be way more productive. If I was a hybrid alien human abducted and they wanted to enhance me to do shit, I think they would have done a little bit better of a job, or I would have been like a recall, and they would have said he's, really he's a genius, hybrid genius, but he's also a fucking lazy ass motherfucker. He is. So I almost feel like it could be me, but then I feel like possibly they wouldn't have settled with my level of productivity as their hybrid human alien goal. So check that show out. I'm not signaling anyone here. I must have ate something. So now those are fun. And then we're still on our shark kick. They have every kind of shark versus every other kind of shark specials, and they have sharks versus prehistoric animals, and they got an AI that shit and all stuff. So those are fun too because they go out and they look for sharks, right? That's what they do. They hop in a boat and they go where all sharks are, and then when they find them, they get scared and they run like fucking hell. Which Mrs. Comic pointed out, like, well, you went to look for sharks, and you found them, and now you seem surprised that you found them, and now you're afraid of them, and you're fucking running away from them. And they do that in the alien shows also. They go back and they say, I haven't been in this spot for 30 years, but I have to absolutely see what was out here that abducted me, cut my skull open, and pet my brain, and then sealed me up nice. Why the fuck would you even go back if you believe that shit happened to you? So we've been watching that stuff. It's a lot of good fun. I'll click it through some more notes here. I'm excited to have September shows. September, I'm going to be at Soul Joel's Comedy Club in Oxford, PA. It is on the other side of like past Longwood Gardens, that way, about half hour out that way. Because Soul Joel's has a Pottstown location south of me, but it's not that. So I'm going to be there the first Saturday of September. I'm going to be back at the Parks Casino in Shippensburg for a Friday in September. I'm not sure exactly which one. You can check my schedule or I'll post that shit. And I'll be at the Allen Theater in Lebanon, Pennsylvania at the end of September. So it's nice to be having shows again. I just turned down some shows. There's if you do any kind of social media, there's they're called pop-ups, and in stand-up comedy, pop-ups are actually kind of really bad for established comedians. Pop-ups are good for open mic nights, young comedians trying to get some stage time. So when I get approached by a pop-up to do a show, I don't want to be complete dick, but I quote them what I would want to get paid, and they never want to pay me that. They absolutely never want to pay me that. But also this past experience that I just had, because one's going to be popping up in Allentown, and that's actually close to my May's theater show, and I love them, and I hope that club doesn't cause any fucking trouble for them. But the comedy clubs can't just fucking pop up. They can't just pop up, and yet they do, and they actually just promote the idea they're selling comedy show, greatest comedy show, we got the best comedy show in the valley. But they don't really seem all that proud of their comedians. It's whoever they're fucking putting on that night. So turning down work is really fucking brutal, especially when I'm trying to raise money. But it's a tough business, and I would say, I'm not trying to diss pop-up shows, but if you're going out and you're spending money, try to invest in the actual comedian. If it's not me, if it's somebody else, When they're just selling comedy night, that's a little shaky, and try to figure out, who's showing up that they don't care, that they're just calling it comedy night. So that was like a commercial to not go see a show that I didn't book. Where are you going to get entertainment like that? Mm-hmm. Now, back in the notebook here. Oh, also, here's to me for streaming this week when I was tired and I had no plan and I felt bad because I asked for donations last week and it backfired because I turned the super chat off. So here's to me for streaming tonight, and it's garbage night also there.
Cheers to Sandy's birthday on Friday. Crenshaw's wife.
Oh, that's right. Crenshaw's wife's birthday is Friday. So happy birthday to Sandy. We can't call Crenshaw right now, so here's the thing. Excuse me. See all them purple things in there? Richter, I don't know what those purple things are, but...
It's him.
That's you. There's a little purple thing. That's great. Richter's collecting all these little purple things.
Take the pop-up but say it has to be unannounced if they agree to your fee, he said.
What happened?
He said, take the pop-up but say it has to be unannounced if they agree to your fee. I think you do that.
I don't know what... I don't even know what that means. Take the pop-up, but say it has to be unannounced if they agree to your fee. No. That's it. I understand that now. I didn't understand. Yeah. I don't want to do the pop-ups because I don't like to invest in a new comedy thing that will be competition for established comedy that has been good to me. But thank you for that. But that's why I don't do it. And it's a thing you learn the hard way because it's really it's probably two different markets, but it's in the advertising area. Then it just looks bad. Like if you're going to pay $25 to see me in a theater, it kind of looks bad to pay $10 to see me in a bar. That's close by. So that's why I'd love to take their money. In fact, I did. I quoted them high. Richter, I quoted them high before. I didn't realize who they were. And I want them to lock down $1,500, win, lose, or draw. And then we split the door. And so they interpreted this as, oh, that's a great deal. We'll split the door 50-50, and you will cap your salary at $1,500. No, fucking no. I'm not. Why would I cap my salary? I'll say, here's my deal. I'll split the money with you, but I agree. I only want to make this amount of money and no more. That's the dumbest fucking interpretation that is. They, as soon as I told them they gotta pay me $1,500, win, lose, or draw, they're like, no, we don't agree to that part. We'll just do the 50-50 door split. And by then I was happy because again, I don't want to appear in these things. Even away from this area, if they're close to a comedy club that I normally work at, it's a little risky. But now you're probably all curious and you're probably saying, we're going to go out and check out these pop-up comedy shows, but if they suck, just remember I tried to warn you. So there's that. Now, what the hell else is going on here? Let's see here. I'm going to peek in this notebook that I filled up. And how did I run out of notebooks? I know I have two project notebooks that are sort of empty, but they're specific to that project. So there's that. Let's see here. All right, so I don't have anything else really that exciting to talk about, so I'm just going to babble randomly again. I'm going back. I'm trying to do more retro stuff because really I started comedy in 1991, and that was actually pre-internet, so you couldn't really, there was no social media. You could only bug other comedians who could possibly help you in person. That's pretty much it. So, but also we go back to other technology before that, and I was pissing and moaning that we used to, it's not so bad now, but we used to have, I'm going to burp again. I didn't burp. We used to have like 3 remote controls or a phone. Each had like 80 buttons on them, but each remote control you only could push one or two buttons, and you had to do it in perfect sequence, or you wouldn't get to see whatever the fuck you want to see. Uh, I miss those days a teeny tiny little bit, and I somehow get them a little bit now. We have been watching. We're trying to. You should do this too. Uh, if you collect movies, if you buy movies, and you buy a digital version that streams, that's not safe. So we're trying to replace our movies that we love with non-digital, either DVD or VHS copies that we actually fucking physically own, because uh, they changed a lot of laws, and now people, if I bought some shit on Amazon Prime and then we dumped Prime, we still have the digital stuff that we bought, but there's commercials in it now. That fucking pissed me off. And they can actually yank content. They can actually edit uh, the thing that I fucking bought. They can edit language. They can edit scenes. They can also just fucking yank it and dump it, and I have no recourse. So that makes me. I'm already fucking crazy, so I don't really need that. So if you have the wherewithal to get hard copies of films and music that you love, I would absolutely do it. Because when they pull the plug on this streaming shit, and somebody decides they want to get paid, um, I thought up something that when they think it up, they're gonna do it, and because it's greedy motherfuckers. Because so we bought the digital movie, we dumped Prime, so technically we own that movie. I believe someday a lot of people will do that in the digital, the Amazon, whoever holds the digital movie for you, will realize, hey, we're not getting any more money out of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna charge them rental space to hold this fucking movie here. And fuck that shit in a bucket of goo. Um, so I've noticed some shit since we dumped Amazon Prime and all our baboomsa devices. Um, some stuff that I I love old retro TV. The old Alfred Hitchcock's for the TV series are absolutely incredible because they never get away with it. They never get away with it, and sometimes they let you think they got away with it, and then Alfred comes on at the end to say, "Well, everybody thought he got away with it, including him." But when he went down the alley, turned the corner, there was police waiting for him. He just fucking tells you what happened. They don't even have to film it. So some of the stuff is so fucking weird now because we're not paying for Prime. Is that when Alfred Hitchcock, the episodes are lined up that we bought. I'm gonna pick one out to watch. The thumbnail up in the corner is Perry Mason, but it's not even Perry Mason. It's old Ironside. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe they fired one too many human beings, and the AI doesn't have a full grip on that shit. But do that, and also get to the Mahoning Drive-In. For fuck's sake, it's up in Lehighton. It's an incredible night. They got great stuff going on there. I know there's a David Lynch or Twin Peaks something coming up in September. Might be sold out. We're going a night, but we're not going 2 nights because we actually do have a show. So let's see here. Oh, more fun stuff. This is retro, and it's not even comedy that's written yet. But there has to be something fun there. Myself and Mr. Comic both can drive stick shift cars. And so that's like bragging rights. In fact, if I were to get a lot of money, I almost would buy a stick shift car, except one such day when I dropped dead, mostly everybody in the family can't drive stick shift, so they'd be like, oh, fuck, that's great. He says, Pappy has his old car and nobody can fucking drive except Memmy. But there's good comedy with stick shifts now. See, we're here in Emmaus. Okay, so we love a farmer's market, Lichtenwaldner, and he's going to be mad at me because he doesn't want any more business. The guy's amazing. Little old fun Dutchy farmer. So he's down, if you know where Emmaus is, there's a high school, there's Cedar Crest Boulevard. Cedar Crest Boulevard is weird because it's almost like a banked racing turn is what it is. And at just past the high school, there's a church there. There's a big fucking drop-off turn that you would never turn it unless you knew there was a fucking road down there. and that goes behind the Tank Farm Buckeye, and that's where the farmers market is back there. That turn, that drop, it drops really fucking sharp, steep. It's really steep, and then it banks right away. So if you drive stick shift and you could come up that hill and handle pulling out on that fucking steep incline on the Cedar Crest, you earned. You should get your driver's license for that. But what happens is these tractor trailers coming from the Macungie or Tank Farm Road or whatever, there's signs up that these fucking trucks, and if you drive these fucking trucks, I'm not insulting you, I'm just saying don't fucking drive on this road. They're not supposed to drive on this fucking road. They're not supposed to be on this fucking road. And lo and behold, about once every 2 or 3 weeks, we're going down Cedar Crest Boulevard, and a tractor trailer top will be sticking up, and the whole rest of it will weave around this fucking fallen steep cliff, and they can't fucking move forward, and they can't fucking move back. It's the one that I find joy in it. I'll go because the truck driver gets out. What the fuck? He goes, I can't get around this turn. I just fucking can't do it. The truck is bigger than the turn. It's fucking impossible. There's no fucking way to do it. By the time the truck gets up, the bottom of the tractor trailer part would be hitting the top of the road like a fucking teeter totter up there. So they stop, and then they get out, and then I laugh because that's when they're trying to figure out how to solve the Rubik's Cube of driving this fucking truck. And also, which I didn't know, but now I even enjoy it more because that happened once when I picked my brother-in-law, the plumber, to take him over to his shop over there. He was happier than pigs and shit because he liked when that happened too. But he said that's illegal, and the state police are going to come there, and it's a very expensive fine, and it's quite a few $100s, maybe a few thousand to get a tractor trailer towed out of there. So there's monetary damage. So if I'm not making any money from my live streams, at least I can enjoy somebody else is getting penalized for assholish behavior on the other side of town. So if you ever see Cedar Crest Boulevard in Emmaus, you ever see a truck coming up that hill, they're fucked, and it's good entertainment. It'll take them a long time to get rid of. Now, I'm totally out of shit to tell you about, but I'm going to tell you something else. Probably nobody out there plays Pokemon Go except me and Mrs. Comic. So hang on. So we play Pokemon Go. It's fun. You catch creatures that nobody else can see, and you throw balls at them, and then you catch them. We actually have cartoon friends in Pokemon Go, other trainers, but we're up to like 20 friends now, something like that. We've never seen these people before. And you can make a cartoon of yourself, how you look. Some people actually make themselves heavy, I'm guessing because they're heavy, which I get it, because you want the cartoon trainer to represent you, but I would want to look more handsome. I'm going to sneeze now, look at that. Holy shit. Alright. Now, I would want to look more handsome than I do in real life. I figure you could get an upgrade. So, let's see, now that fucker won't load in. But they have all these different tasks you can do. And there's gyms that you wouldn't, if you're just driving around town, you wouldn't fucking see these at all. So now, let's see here. Me. Well, I have myself, you'll never see this. I'll put it in there next week. I have wings and all kinds of shit. If I'm going to be like a fucking superhero, I got blue hair. I got Twin Peaks Dr. Jacoby glasses with the red and the blue. I got wings. I got fucking horns. I got all kinds of shit. So I have to be looking ass kicking. And Mrs. Comic looks very much like she does, but when I have another phone so I can tap into her account, I keep making her cartoon breasts bigger to match her actual ones, and sometimes she notices it and puts them down to what is more normal. So that's a little fun thing we do. She probably looks at, oh, she's been enlarging my breasts. It's not a thing that I'm making up. Mrs. Comic has been blessed in the chest area there, and I think her cartoon self should pay tribute to that. Now, Here's how I get into trouble all the time doing little shit. I didn't get into trouble, but here's the thing. And if you play Pokemon Go and you want to get in on us, message us somehow, and we'll send you our trainer codes and all that shit. Um, there's a thing that's called there's gyms all over the place in the town. You spin them and you have battles and you do this and that shit. You can't see them unless you have the app. That's how that goes. So there's another thing in there called routes, and any dumbass like me can make up a route. You go to one of these gyms and you make a starting point, and then you start recording your route, and then you walk the route. You walk wherever the hell you go from uh, Pokemon Go gym to Pokemon Go gym, and however long you want it to be, and then you end the route, and then you get prizes if you walk that route again. Uh, Other people can walk the route, and you get prizes that way and shit. So I'm a lazy ass, so I made a route. I've been meaning to do this for a whole year, and it's about 2 weeks ago. Went down the street and I made a route I was very proud of, and I based it on other routes that existed in this fucking game. I was walked up to the corner, I turned left and I walked down, across the street to the church, and I walked back up to what used to be the tavern, Second Street Tavern, and that was the route. It was fucking short and sweet. So once I logged in and submitted this route, it was live for about a day, and then we walked it. So I believe what happened was is that the Second Street Tavern, um, I said 9 different names over the past 10, 15 years. It hasn't been Second Street Tavern for a million fucking years. So when I tagged this thing on my route, I think they wanted to verify that it was a Second Street Tavern, which it wasn't. So they fucking shut my route down and said that I made an illegal route and it cut through people's yards. And I appealed it. I said, I'm just walking on the same fucking streets that everybody else is walking. I've used this route is a smaller route within a route that's already been rooted in your route. Fuck me in a bucket of goo route. And then so I won that appeal, but the Second Street Tavern as a Pokemon Go gym disappeared because the business is gone. So where my route ended, there was no end point. So they fucked that up also. But now then they moved the end point up to what I call the Hysterical Society, but it's a historical society. So that all got straightened out. But for about a night, Mrs. Comic thought that me and her would have to take it on the lam and go hide in Canada or something because I created an illegal route that went through people's yards. Now, if you try to get customer service in Pokemon Go, you have a better chance of getting a person to speak to if you just give Bearcat a message and say, go find help this way and that. But I appealed this thing and I mocked it and I said, there's no way in hell that I'm going through people's yards and private property.
Yeah.
So your thing is wrong. Whatever you think is going on, and if you're going to shut mine down, then you have to shut like 17 routes down. And then before that got straightened out, I thought, fuck me in a bucket of goo. Well, if they shut down all 17 routes, there's going to be 17 Pokemon Go trainers all fucking pissed off at me. But they only know me as a cartoon. So I think we'd be pretty safe there. So again, it's just a fun thing that we do, which requires basically no money, of catching things that nobody else can see. Boom, roasted right there. Oh, I bumped into the cat. Here's that. Oh, here goes the alarm. Hang on. So, all right. So, I forgot to tell you, I've been trying to sort out what I'm going to do with the live stream specific to stories from my eventual book. And my eventual book needs an actual title. Book of Amish Comic, like Book of Mormon, I don't know. I should have been famous by now. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I have a sort of a plan. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but it's going to be at least 3 to start and probably more. So the first episode will focus on phoning in a radio station, meeting Keith Moyer from the morning show and John Carfey, who had interest in a comedy club there, and launching me actual to comedy club performance. And so I'm actually sad because that whole first thing is not going to have the Bear Man in it at all because he wasn't there when that happened. So I'm trying not to motor through that too quickly because when the things happened with the Bear Man, kerpow, everything went uh, nuts in best possible way. So what I want to do though is instead of just saying, "Hey, wow, we're streaming tonight. I hope everybody's ready." The plan is basically when I launch. I don't know if it's going to be ready for next Wednesday. I'm thinking I'm going to go 3 Wednesdays in a row on stories from the book, and then what I'm going to do is when I have it ready, I'm going to announce the 3 streaming dates all in one fell swoop. That way, if there's any planning that can be done, you peckerheads, I mean in a nice way, you can not miss it. Plus, it'll be up there. I'll leave it up there for you to see the replay or whatever heck you want to do there. So I'm excited about that. It's moving along. I'm making some notes. That's going to be fun to do, and will definitely get me back into actual writing. So I think that's all the excitement that I have for here tonight. I'm going to toast myself again. Let's see what's the win. Let's have another peek. Have another peek at the Rico slide. There's that. Caesar here. And once again, really appreciate your donations and the super chat. I think it's fun. I don't know because again, I haven't donated to myself. I don't understand the super stickers. But if you know anything, drop it in the chat or messages this way or that. That's pretty much it for this week. Let's see here. I'll do this. And there's no finer way to end this week's live stream but than to say thanks for watching. And also, it's garbage night. So,
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day is coming up, right? Happy Labor Day. And it is garbage night if you live in Emmaus. Maybe not the whole. I shouldn't announce that because you might live in Emmaus when it's not garbage night, but it might be. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm wrapping up. I'll leave you with my grandson. Right there is Hank.